Well, hello there, happily married woman. It is Dr. Siobhan Parad here, founder of Relatable. I'm so excited to be with you. Happy Memorial Day weekend at the time of this recording. So I wanted to come on and talk with you about underestimating yourself. We all do it as women. We downplay our skills, we downplay our abilities, we downplay the power that we have over our lives. And, I'll tell you a story. A while ago, I had this idea to do a training on the topic of communication. And I was like, people always say communication is like the biggest thing in marriage, the main thing that they want to improve. People have so many issues. And I have to tell you, as I would hear that, I'd always think like, well, what is it that I can offer to help people? Like this is how you talk to each other. This is what you do. And I really was at this place where I was sort of downplaying my own skills, downplaying my own expertise, downplaying, the knowledge that I have. And a lot of times when something seems so easy for you, so simple for you, so second nature to you, you think that everyone else is doing it. And you think that, people won't value what you have to contribute to the conversation. And that's how I was feeling when it came to communication. I was like, but this is just how you communicate in a marriage. This is just how you express yourself in order to get someone to understand you. This is how you communicate when you have problems. A lot of that stuff is second nature to me because, we're not perfect, but I will say that my husband and I have really, really good communication, like 80–90% of the time. And so I just thought, well, everybody must know these things that we practice. Everybody must, talk to each other in this way. Hello, whoever's joining. I'm doing this live stream from my computer, so I can't see I can't see names. So if you want to drop in the comment who you are, I would love to say hello since you guys are actually watching this live. So just drop your name, tell me hey in the comments, and I promise to say hey back to you. But yeah, so I sort of took for granted the communication skills and expertise and things that I have. And then, I was doing some like quiet prayer time and, I asked God, I was like, God, show me the things that you want me to see about what I have to offer my community. And hi, Francis. It's so good to see you. And not long after that, I got an email from a friend who was like, I need to talk to someone about something. How can I approach this conversation? And then, later that day, I got a Facebook message from someone. They were like, I want to talk to my husband about something, but I'm not quite sure how to talk to him. And it was like a light bulb went off. It was like confirmation that the skills that I have, what I have to offer, the knowledge I have around communication was something that other people need and was something that was incredibly valuable to others that I had sort of been taking for granted, that I had sort of been downplaying, putting to the side, not really paying attention to, because I'm thinking people need other things, right? I'm in my own head creating my own story about things. So I offer that story to you as a segue into talking about you and the power that you have, right? So I'm sure as you look at your life, there are probably many, many skills that you have. I'm going to narrow this in a little bit more to talk from a personal development space as it relates to your relationships and as it relates to your marriage. And so, when it comes to your power, the first thing I want you to recognize is that you have more power than you think, right? Me being a Christian, I know that the power of God lives within me, and it lives within you as well. And so many times we try to do things in our own strength. We try to do things with the knowledge we have, with the tools and the resources that we have at our disposal. And we forget that we can tap into something that is all powerful at any moment we choose. So the first thing I just want to remind you, as you get into these moments where you feel like you're facing barriers and challenges and things that you just don't even know how it's going to work itself out, you don't even know how you're going to make it through, I want to remind you to recognize the power that is within you through Christ Jesus, right? He's given it to you. And to tap into that, right? And it starts with your mindset. It really starts with just acknowledging and believing that anything is possible. That if you have a desire, if you have a vision, if you have an experience that you want to create in your marriage, the fact that it has entered your mind means that it is possible. And so no matter what the situation looks like right now, no matter what you're facing right now, whatever it is you are dreaming of, whatever it is in your mind's eye, is possible. And it's yours to have. You just have to go and possess it. You have to go take it. And you can't have any plan B. You can't doubt that it's possible. No matter what the circumstance is, you have to remain steadfast. You have to fix your mind on what it is you want to create. Our thoughts are incredibly powerful things. Anything that exists in your life today, anything that exists in the world today, first started with a thought, right? Me and my business, it just started as a thought in my mind. And it was a thought that I never let go of. It was a thought that I took action on, that moved me in the right direction to create what I had thought about in my mind. And the same for you and your marriage. If you're thinking that you would love for you and your husband to be able to communicate effortlessly, where you could really share your heart with him, where he could really understand you, where he really felt like he could open up to you and share his thoughts and opinions without it being an argument, without anyone getting defensive, without anyone shutting down, then that is possible. That is a reality that can exist for you. But you've got to fix your mind on doing the things that will bring that thought into your life, which means that when conversations go wrong, right, you can't be defensive. You can't shut down. You can't do all the things that are counter to the direction that you are trying to go and the direction that you are trying to take your marriage. So fix your mind on what it is that you want to create and take the steps, take the action that will get you there, right? So that's really point number 2, which is summarized in that you have the power to create whatever it is you want in your marriage. Okay, number 1 was the power of God that works within you, and number 2 is the power you have to create whatever it is you want in your marriage, and it starts first with your thinking. Okay, that's number 2. And then number 3 is you have the power to influence others. And right now I'm going to break it down just specifically to your husband, right? So one of the things I really want you to recognize is that you and your husband are like doing a dance with each other, that you respond to him, he responds to you, and you can set the tone for how things go. I know a lot of times it seems like, no, well, he just like blows up at the smallest thing, or he is, doing his own thing, or this is how he always is, no matter how I try to approach him, like I can never get through to him. Not true. And to believe that there is nothing you can do to influence his behavior, to believe that there's nothing you can do to inspire him, to believe there's nothing that you can do to guide him in a different direction for how he interacts with you, is a limiting belief that's holding you back. It's a limiting belief that's going to prevent you from ever getting what it is you want. And the way to change that, again, starts with your thinking that it can change. And you have to be committed over the long term to act in the ways, to behave in the ways that will draw in what you want from your husband, right? So if what you really want is for him to open up and to communicate with you, then you have to constantly be a welcoming, inviting, supportive, listening environment for him. Not on occasion, not when you feel like it, not when he's saying the right things, but every single time. But so often what happens is we try to do the things we know we should do. And then we get discouraged when he doesn't respond the way that we want him to. And so we give up. And guess what? Then you fail, right? Then you fail. And it doesn't have to be that way, right? If you, again, fix your mind on what it is you want to create, you then take the actions, you become the person that is experiencing that thing, right? So if you want your husband and you to feel more connected, if you want to spend more quality time together, if you want him to want to be around you more, then you have to draw that out of him. You have to bring that to yourself like a magnet, right? And the way you do that is by embodying the qualities that will get you that. But so often we're looking at him and what he's not doing, that we're not looking at ourselves. We're not seeing the ways that we actually shut our husband down. We're not looking at the ways we actually push him away and make him feel neglected. We're not looking at the ways that, we don't give him room to sort of take the initiative and man up and contribute more around the house, right? We're too busy doing everything. We're too busy being too patient. We're too busy trying to control the way that he does it, that it makes him just want to throw his hands in the air and give up, right? So that's point number 3, that you have the power to influence others. And it's by who you are being. It's by who you, the characteristics and the qualities that you express of yourself, right? If you've been in this group for a while, you know that a question I often ask is, who are you being today? Like, how are you showing up? Like, what are the 3 qualities and the 3 characteristics that you want to embody as a wife? And to be intentional about that, right? You are not a person that is just needs to be blown by the wind and carried away by your emotions. No, you are so much more powerful than that. And so step into your power and be intentional about who you are and how you want to show up, right? If you want to be more patient, then practice patience consistently. You will see a change in your marriage. You will see a change in your husband when you do it consistently, okay? So those are the 3 points. Don't underestimate yourself, right? I started off talking about my own issue and sort of underestimating my skills and what I bring to you all, my community, in the area of communication. And so I will be doing a communication training. You've probably seen the poll in the group. If you haven't, look for it and cast your vote for what you would like the training to be called. That's really important to me because I want to make sure that it's very, very relevant to you. So make sure you scroll through the group and find the post where I do have a poll on what you want that communication training to be. But even more importantly than that, I want to leave you with the message to not underestimate yourself, to always remember the power of God that is working within you, to always remember the power of your thoughts, that you can actually create whatever it is that your mind has conceived. And then number 3 is to not underestimate the power that you have to influence others, namely your husband, right? So I am Siobhan Farah, your marriage coach, helping you develop the mindset and skills to create a happier marriage without having to make over that husband. And you becoming a magnet for the things that you want by being intentional about how you show up is how you do that. So if you are interested in learning more about maybe how we can work together, how I can help you implement these things in your life, I would love to hear from you. Feel free to drop me a comment in this post or send me a private message. You have access to me that way. I'd love to talk with you offline and see how I can help you make your marriage the best it can be. All right, so have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, and I will be back with you sometime really soon. Bye-bye.